Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on my channel. In this video, I want to talk to you about a question that is something that tends to weigh quite heavily on my mind. It's a question that I think of pretty much every time something occurs in the world. Basically, that question is, do you think that public figures such as celebrities, YouTubers, entertainers, basically anyone who is in the spotlight that has a large following should be required to post about events that are taking place in the world or even controversial topics? So for example, should celebrities and major YouTubers be required to discuss topics such as police brutality? Should they be required to acknowledge the level of racism that is in America right now and has been in America since the beginning of America? Do you want to hear the people you follow talk about these things, or would you rather them not say anything? I recently watched a fellow YouTuber's video and she was explaining how one YouTuber in particular she's been ride or die for since basically the beginning of her YouTube career. She's followed her and watched pretty much all of her videos, but she's noticed that that girl does not say anything about issues that are important to her. That girl does not talk about the controversial topics that weigh so heavily on the minds and hearts of so many right now. So she felt obligated to actually unfollow her because of that fact. She felt like she couldn't support someone who doesn't support anything outside of superficial things. And that really made me think about myself and the people that I follow, because to me, the climate of the world, or specifically America right now, is so disheartening that for someone to not acknowledge that, or for someone to not see the state of America right now as a big deal, is pretty much mind-blowing to me. Because even if you are not personally affected by something that is currently taking place, at the end of the day, this is the country that you reside in. This is the place that you call home. This is the place that you are a reflection of. So if you don't take the time to reflect on what's happening, or take the time to even simply acknowledge what's happening, in some way you're kind of the problem. And I definitely agree with that girl in her notion that she had to unfollow that person that she has been ride or die for, because to me it's disheartening when someone can't put their pride aside to simply talk about what's happening, to simply acknowledge what's happening, to simply be aware of what's happening. And I know that right now the country is very divided. There's a lot of people on this side and there's a lot of people on the complete opposite, and then there's a group of people who fit somewhere in the middle where they don't exactly feel extreme on one side or the other. They're kind of just a mixture of both sides. And I feel like it is the responsibility of people who have major followings to talk about things even if they are controversial. They should talk about things even if they might lose followers because of it, because ultimately if you have all these people watching you, that means that you have the power to change the minds of so many people. You have the ability to bring knowledge to people who might be ignorant on certain topics. You have the power to inform people who might not know true facts, and the fact that you don't use that power is just kind of a disgrace, for lack of better words. How can you have that power, that major platform, and feel the need to stay silent? How could you even think that that makes things any better than they are. Think about the major influencers throughout American history. If they didn't stand up for their beliefs, or if they didn't speak up for the people that they saw were being treated unfairly, what would have happened? What would have happened? Would we have even progressed the way that we have? Would those people still be suffering the way that they were? I definitely think that it is the responsibility of public figures to bring awareness to their followers about what's happening. It's their responsibility to take efforts to inform those who need to be informed. And I definitely agree that how can you support someone who ultimately doesn't support you? Who ultimately doesn't support the things that you find offensive, or the things that are truly harmful to the climate of this country? I'm not saying that people should be forceful with their opinions or try to force you into believing their side, but I do think it is important for people to say something, because staying quiet ultimately does nothing. Staying quiet doesn't fix anything or make anything better. And I know that some people really believe in the saying, ignorance is bliss. So to them, everything is happy, everything is perfect, nothing bothers them. But think about that statement. The first word in that statement is ignorant. Why would you want to be labeled as someone who's ignorant? You want to be ignorant to facts just so that you can ultimately feel okay, or so that you feel happy. Just because something isn't personally or directly affecting you doesn't make it any less harmful or any less ridiculous. Let me know in the comments below if you've had to unfollow certain people because you felt like they are not supportive of your values, or they do not speak up to things that are meaningful to you or even offensive to you, or if that doesn't really matter to you because you go to YouTube to escape the drama of the reality. That could be true for a lot of people also. I just know for me personally, I respect someone a lot more who has the courage to speak up regardless of what followers they're going to lose, as opposed to someone who says nothing. I don't have a major following, but I am not shy to say that I have an issue with police brutality. I do believe that racism is alive and that it is extremely high right now. I am Black Lives Matter. I do think that there is so much discrimination, and that our current president kind of manifests this discrimination, meaning he is a symbol for so many people that they can act as outrageous and ridiculous as they feel fit. He is not someone who symbolizes unity. He is not someone who practices bringing people together, and I'm not ashamed to say that. This is where I live, and I am quote unquote woke about America and the system that we live in. And to me, it's important for my followers to know that about me, to know that if they share the same beliefs as me, that we are a team. I don't really care to have followers who don't necessarily agree with me on those topics, because those are issues that are very important to me, and I would rather have followers who are mindful of what's going on than followers who like to live in disbelief. So I hope this video sparks some type of thought or ideas into you, and that it's a conversation that you either have with yourself or with others. And if you have any comments, please leave them down below in the description bar, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Stay woke, people.